So recently, I was listening to an audiobook and it is called The Wisdom of Your Body. And in it, the author said something that I felt like would be really, really useful for you to hear. Because one of the core skills that I am sharing with people, whether that is one to one, whether it's inside my membership, whether it's inside the courses that I run, there is always a theme of self-compassion. It's so important. I almost find it like impossible to imagine us being able to heal and do the inner work without self-compassion. Because if we're constantly beating ourselves up, we feel worse. If we're constantly beating ourselves up, we tend to make choices that are less helpful for us. So self-compassion is really key. And if you're inside my membership, the Attachment Recovery Gym, you probably have heard of me speak of this already. So in the book, she uses a concept where she refers to the two arrows. The first arrow is the situation that happens in life that is painful, is the suffering, because there's no way when we go through life that we don't hit walls, that we don't experience pain or things don't go wrong or we don't make mistakes. So that can be anything. I'm talking about the extreme, from loss. I'm talking about heartbreak. I'm talking about the daily annoyances where you miss the train or you spill your cup of tea, whatever it might be. When we experience something that causes us upset internally, in those moments, that is the first arrow that she refers to. Something happens. Now, if you're watching this, it is possible, not to make assumptions, but it's possible that you're facing the first arrow right now. So if you are, just take a moment to acknowledge that, like you're going through something. And have the wisdom to know that probably someone has experienced something similar before you. Sadly, someone is going to experience this after you. And it's even possible people are experiencing this alongside you. Like we see that in the Attachment Recovery Gym, right? I work with people that are going through similar things at the same time. Definitely doesn't feel like that when you're in it. It can feel very lonely. So have the wisdom to know that it's really not just you. So the second arrow that she talks about is the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we talk to ourselves in these moments. So it is when you need to love yourself the most, when we need to care for ourselves the most, go back to our basic needs of making sure that we are getting sleep and we're getting food and whatever it might be. In those moments, instead of checking in with ourselves and looking after ourselves, we often hit ourselves with the second arrow. And that is the shaming, the blaming, the having the go, the beating yourself up. And it just makes this already painful situation even worse. So are you someone that falls into that? Like, be completely honest with yourself. Do you see yourself giving yourself the hardest time when things are difficult? To be honest with you, it's possible that you do that even when things aren't difficult. You could probably do something great and still find the bad in it, still completely dismiss all the positives and give yourself a hard time, because we are so hard on ourselves. How hard we are on ourselves compared to others is sometimes quite insane. I do exercises with people in the workshops that I run where we explore the language that we use to talk to ourselves compared to that of other people. Now, I'm not saying I want you to go and talk to other people the way you do yourself, quite the opposite. I want you to start to treat yourself the way that you would other people, assuming that you are a kind person that offers compassion to other people. I want you to begin offering that to yourself. We can't change that first arrow quite often. We often can't. But can we have control and make better choices around that second arrow? Absolutely. We can choose again. We can have different thoughts. We can have different actions. We have to look at who we're being and how we're treating ourselves when life throws a curveball. So if you are shaming yourself, beating yourself up, then this is your reminder not to do that. Inside the Attachment Recovery Gym, we have so much goodness around offering yourself more compassion. We have a short course in there. You'll hear me talk about it constantly. Pretty much everything that I do with my clients, in anything that I run, like I said, is just built on the foundations of loving yourself more, because you are worthy, you are enough, you deserve that from yourself, you deserve it from people around you. And I know that many of the people watching this struggle to have those healthy, happy relationships. When you can start to love yourself more, you're going to see a real positive effect in the rest of your life. If you're finding this useful, I do just want to let you know a little bit more about the Attachment Recovery Gym. The Attachment Recovery Gym is an online membership that supports you to get in touch with and exercise your most secure self. You can join this community when you have reached the point where you know so much of the information, yet being able to change and put that into practice is really difficult. You see yourself defaulting back to old, painful patterns. It's an online membership space where you can take everything that you've been learning, that includes all of the things that I'm talking about in this video and my other videos and on my Instagram. You can take all of that and you can put it into practice. If you have a reoccurring relationship issue or a specific trigger where you feel stuck, then fear not. The Attachment Recovery Gym marries 3 core components that are going to support you to be able to change and self-soothe in the moment. That is community, accountability, and education. When you become a member of the Attachment Recovery Gym today, you get immediate access to a library of resources and a schedule of classes that strengthen your secure self, just like you were working on your physical health, because that's something that I believe is really important. Guys, thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon.